Welcome to East Carolina as the calendar turns to May and the home stretch of college baseball. Here in the American Athletic, number 5 East Carolina, its highest ranking of the year, hosting South Florida, looking to climb back into the tournament picture here in a crowded American Conference. Welcome into Clark LeClaire Stadium with the coach, Mike Mullis. I'm Evan Budrovich. What a treat tonight if you love starting pitching. East Carolina rolls out Trey Yesavage, who's top 5 in wins, in strikeouts, and in whip in the country. What makes this starter so dominant?
Splitty, fastball command, competitive nature. He's as good as it gets. And Fridays around here have become Trey Day, so it'll be a lot of fun to watch him go tonight.
Yesavage with 9 wins on the year coming in. And South Florida counters with big-time power, now 6th in career home runs. Drew Butcher for South Florida. How does he bring dynamic to this offense?
Well, you see an interesting stat right there, second in the AAC in walks along with the power numbers. Kind of a unique combination, but he is the catalyst between the home runs and the ability to get on base. He's the one that stirs the drink for these Bulls.
He anchors Bill Moll's lineup in year 7 running this program. East Carolina maybe has the player of the year offensively, and Carter Cunningham, back-to-back player of the weeks. Not only great numbers this year, but a dynamic month of April in the 2 spot.
Yeah, truly incredible what Carter's done of late and all season long. Carter's seen the ball well and driving it in all fields, and again, just an exciting hitter to watch.
A fantastic month of April, hitting at .430 in the heart of Cliff Godwin's lineup. When we come back, we'll get you all set for first pitch. Folks in Greenville call it Trey Day. We got a great Friday night here in the AAC. Taking a look at one of the most dynamic pitchers in college baseball, the junior Trey Yesavage, who this week the MLB put out their projected draft rankings. A top 10 pick in the country coming out of college. Fantastic. ERA really good. Hits per 9 innings untouchable. Now first in fielding independent pitching, which means regardless of how they're playing behind him, he's throwing really well, Mike, and what a challenge for this USF offense.
Yeah, I mean, he's been so dominant. We saw him last week nearly with a perfect game, but a one-hitter through 7 in a run rule contest there in Memphis. But Yesavage has been as consistent and as dominant as maybe any starter that's ever towed the bump for East Carolina, short of maybe Gavin Williams in his big draft year. But, yeah, Trey Yesavage, not enough can be said. And again, it's Friday night in Greenville, and everybody's looking forward to watching Trey do his thing.
Yesavage, the National College Baseball Writers of America Pitcher of the Month. He's been fantastic. His last loss was March 22nd. You never want to pencil in a W, but it's pretty darn guaranteed the way this guy's been throwing on the bump. And he will face a South Florida lineup that last year blasted over 80 home runs. This is presented by Grady White Boats. Bill Moll's lineup this year, only 45 home runs, but high stolen base numbers, high doubles, and it really anchors in the middle with Bobby Bozer, 8 homers, 26 RBI in the heart of this lineup.
Yeah, what's kind of interesting is they're split against right-handers. They've hit left-handers much better this year than right-handers by about 50 points, but a team that's hitting about 286, 290 as a team. So, again, kind of adds up for a tough matchup for him against Yesavage. And going back to, you don't want to pencil in a W, but you can guarantee you'll pencil in a great effort by Trey.
Quality starts in every conference outing this year. South Florida right in the thick of a loaded conference race in 6th place. 1 game out of 3rd and 1 game out of missing the playoffs. As it looks like we may need some help with the dirt. So some ground staff crew coming out.
It's an interesting way to start what we already felt like could potentially be an interesting weekend. We had the Hornet invasion there, in Arizona in the big league game.
The beekeeper.
The beekeeper comes out and is looks like we got a bird that they're dealing with down there. And that is
just keeps flapping its wings.
Yeah, maybe a little baby bird that can't quite get off the ground.
Maybe not a Good Morning America type of moment, but still pretty neat, escorting the bird out of here.
The young Mr. Hartzell down there, the son of Lynn Hartzell, Region 10 commissioner for NJCAA down there, taking care of the bird.
Here's what's flying around the defense for East Carolina. Riley Johnson, elite center fielder. That outfield at great speed with Jenkins, Cowart, and Carter. And with the return of Jacob Starling the last month, Dixon Williams moves over to 3rd base.
When we talk about the year that Carter Cunningham has had, and it has been amazing, but Riley Johnson is the guy that gets it going for these Pirates, and it's just it's a treat to get to watch him play center field every night.
So Ben Rosenblum leads things off in the South Florida lineup. He swings over one of the nastiest pitches in college baseball.
Yeah, the splitty is legit, and it's hard, and it's got some serious depth to it. And couple that with 95, 96 fastball and a breaking ball that's just good enough.
So 114 strikeouts this year, and a quick start for Trey Yesavage.
You know, that's what the Pirates are going to need out of Trey Yesavage, and we'll talk about it more as the game goes on, the issues and the health of the bullpen. But you see him there with the first 3-pitch punch out. But he needs to be efficient. He's going to have strikeout numbers, which are going to run his pitch count up anyway. They really need him to get deep into this outing.
Yesavage has gone 100 pitches and 6 innings plus in his last 5 starts. Drew Butcher, who we noted coming in, blasted a home run Tuesday, so his 36th career homer. There was elite spin rate, elite movement from Yesavage, who you noted, 1 hit away from a perfect effort against Memphis. And now Butcher goes opposite field. This ball's got some carry on it, and off the glove.
Yeah, I don't know if it caught the glove or the top of the wall, but certainly stayed in the park. That's why Butcher's what he is. I mean, he's one of the best in the conference by far. And I mean, the doubles. This USF team has a ton of them, but a great piece by Butcher to stay on that offering from Trey Yesavage and drive it the other way.
Top 50 in the country in doubles, and I'm curious where this ball lands because it's right at the fence.
Yeah, you'll see. Gets back and just over his head and just off the front of the wall to stay in the ballpark.
So a 1-out double for South Florida, and Rafael Betancourt out in front of a changeup. Butcher with his 15th double. He is right among the top of the American in extra base hits. As Betancourt quickly down 0-2. And one thing with Trey Yesavage, he is a strike-throwing machine.
He is, and that's, where he has had difficulties, if you could consider the difficulty, has been in the first inning where his pitch counts have been a little bit higher traditionally. So we'll see how he navigates his way here.
The 0-2. Betancourt, who came back this year from off-season foot surgery and has been surging at the right time. Now hitting .360 in his last 10 games, but this is an elite arm in Yesavage, who has not dropped a conference start since the end of March. The only thing slowing him down is the home plate umpire at this moment, Jim Shalley, calling time. Matt Nader, Kurt Dominic, and Kevin Morgan, part of this 4-man crew.
Some of you may recognize Nader's name from the conference tournament when the ejection of Groves a few years back, or last year, I guess, on the quote-unquote sandwich gate.
Post-home run sandwich.
Yeah, the sandwich incident. So Nader at first base tonight.
Yesavage with 2 strikeouts early.
Pulls the string on that. You throw that pitch right behind the fastball up around the eyes. The Betancourt fouled off to stay in the count. Kind of tunnels that pitch off of it. Same type release point, just pulls the string on it. Thing dives away from him, and kind of no chance for Betancourt, who doesn't strike out a ton. That's just a really quality pitch.
You rank Yesavage and Chase Burns, the 2 strikeout leaders in the country. Not only elite arms, but right here in the Carolinas. And Yesavage has done it all, 9 wins in this Pirate rotation. And he gets Bobby Bozer out in front. Bozer, who came back from injury just this week and hit a home run in I don't want to call it a Super Smash Bros, but it was a home run fest against Stetson. Both teams lit the scoreboard up.
That is something the USF staff feels great about, is that they're getting healthier kind of as the season wears on, and feels like if they can get their guys healthy and get back to where they were before, then they could kind of balance out some of the scuffling they've had as of late.
Bozer down, strike 2. And that split finger's running early here for Yesavage.
I tell you, the Pirates in a really aggressive shift with 3 of the infielders on the left side of the bag, and Carter Cunningham playing about second base.
The 1-2. A rare miss for Trey Yesavage.
94, good spot, great 2-strike pitch there. You saw Yesavage shake. He knew it was certainly the pitch he wanted to throw. Thought he might get a call there. Good job by Bozer to lay off of that.
This time he gets him, and a 3-strikeout first for the AAC wins leader, Trey Yesavage. One of the best pitchers in college baseball, rolling through 1 inning. His Pirates will hit next. USF rolls out twin brother Hunter Mink, whose twin brother Tanner is part of the bullpen. Hunter is an elite starter in the AAC. He's gone 6 innings in his last 2 efforts. 2 years ago, he was a elite closer, 9 saves as a true freshman. Now in year 3, he's got a tough task tonight against this East Carolina order.
Yeah, Meek's kind of had his struggles as of late and kind of a 3-game losing skid here, but his numbers have obviously been respectable and at times really good. He's kind of been up and down, a little bit of yo-yo, so I think they'll watch closely. They being the USF staff will watch him closely to kind of monitor how he goes tonight, knowing that they can't afford to give up a bunch against Trey Yesavage.
Here is Cliff Godwin's lineup, part of a Grady White Boat starting lineup. Carter Cunningham in the last week, incredible. We noted AAC Player of the Week, but 10 RBI, not too shabby for him. And now this lineup fully healthy with Jacob Starling back from an oblique injury and the presence of Ryan McChrystal in that DH role. It has slowly solidified a dangerous 1-9 order.
Yeah, 3 doubles, 3 home runs, 10 runs driven in with a .562 batting average. Those aren't cheapies. Those aren't balls that are just finding their way through. Those are balls that are driven. And again, nobody's been hotter than Cunningham for the Pirates or for anybody in the country for that matter.
Team that's hitting .318 as a club. That's top 15 in the country. And that's the challenge for Hunter Mink on the mound today. Mink, in the eyes of his head coach, Billy Mole, who's now the pitching coach, he's either been really on or really off. And it's kept South Florida in a lot of good series. As Riley Johnson goes the other way. What a stretch for Riley Johnson. He's now reached base in 42 straight games.
You know, we say it, all Riley Johnson does is get on base, score runs, steal bases, and play great defense. That's all he does. He is a very complete center fielder, and the stats with him leading off a game getting on base or leading off an inning getting on base and the Pirates scoring, it's astronomical how many, what the percentages are.
He's in the top 30 in runs scored per game and a nice base stealing threat. Here's Carter Cunningham. Cunningham was riding a 6-game hit streak. Not only that, AAC Player of the Week honors. A double-digit RBI week. Now Carter's at 54 runs batted in.
Carter's one of those guys as a coach you're looking at, okay, what's our plan? How are we going to pitch this guy? The green spots greatly outweigh the red spots as far as, where he likes the baseball. He's a tough guy to pitch to.
And unlike on traffic lights, red is red hot.
Right.
Green is you don't want to go. They don't teach that in driving school.
No.
The way Cunningham's swinging it, he's now in the top 25 in RBI. Mink's 3-0 does catch the top of the zone. This is a Pirate offense that exploded down in Memphis. Scored 36 runs in that series. And now a 5-pitch walk. That won't matter on the throw. So 2 on here with nobody out.
With what this offense has done an amazing job of is extending innings when they get themselves in a 2-out situation or even a 2-strike count. The number of runs that they've scored with 2 outs is incredible. In Memphis, the big innings, the Pirates had a couple big innings per game and was kind of a lot of what the offense was.
So here's the power hitter, Jacob Jenkins Cowart, with a bunt, moving 2 runners forward. And this is Carolina team. They lay the bunt down as good as anybody. Now 40 sacrifice bunts.
Yeah, no, there's not a program in the country that works any harder at it. If you come out to practice, you'll see bunting stations set up. They bunt in pregame, and nobody in the lineup is immune from getting a bunt call from Coach Godwin. And a big deal here. You put runners at second and third, 1 out. You got the hot Jacob Starling coming to the plate. You got to like that situation if you're a Pirate fan.
Last time Starling was in this building, he hit for the cycle in his return from injury. And now the ball gets away from Monke behind the plate, and the Pirates sail in first.
And there's the beauty of the bunt, right? You get them there and find a way to get them in, and unfortunately the pitcher with a pass ball there, it makes it a little too easy. See here, probably a ball the catcher should have gotten a glove on and at least gotten a body on, but kind of reaches for it and skips right past him.
So an offense that scores nearly 10 runs a game for East Carolina. A quick start. And since that return to injury for Jacob Starling, he had a 6 RBI series at Memphis. We noted the cycle. He comes back from an all AAC caliber year and now fully healthy in the heart of Cliff Godwin's order. He ropes one fair and the hot streak continues. That's an RBI knock for Starling, who wants two and has it with a stand-up double.
Starling driving that ball inside of the third baseman in the bag down there, and pretty easy knock for him. Yeah, it's really amazing what he's done since he's come back, and historically Starling has been a guy that as the temperature got warmer, he also got hotter, and we're seeing that kind of hold true again. But a good effort by the third baseman, but not quite enough. And Starling with a double, and we got a 2-0 game already.
Well, tonight it's 85 degrees, and Starling playing like it's in fuego here in Greenville.
You know, for a guy from Florida, this is probably feels a little more like home than when you start the season out and it's a little bit chilly. But that'll get a trip to have a conversation with Mink early. And again, if you're USF and you have any intention of winning this baseball game, you know that you can't allow too many more with Trey Yesavage on the other side.
To that point, the most runs Yesavage has surrendered this year is 4.
That's right.
Not that that's in the back of your mind, but it certainly plays a factor.
A huge deal. It's a huge deal.
An elite arm working with a 2-0 lead. And now Hunter Mink, who was productive in his last start, just 2 runs allowed hosting FAU in 6 innings. He's in a jam now against Ryan McChrystal, the DH. That ball's hard hit, left field corner, and just foul. McChrystal's one of 6 starters in this ECU lineup hitting 300 or better, and nearly had a hit here.
Yeah, just foul. Just foul, probably, 8-10 feet down there. Would have been another RBI.
There's the slider from Mink, which is his go-to out pitch. And here's McChrystal. We noted the hit streak for Johnson reaching in 42. McChrystal could reach base for the 30th straight game if he pulls it off tonight. To have that type of depth in your lineup, what a luxury.
Yeah, top to bottom, this lineup's been really productive and maybe even overachieved in a lot of expectations early in the season. But, yeah, this Pirate offense has certainly put together a great season.
Mink misses down, so a 2-2 count. A Pirate order that has been smashing baseballs here at the end of April and now into the start of May. Scoring 8.5 runs a night.
You know, with Mink not with an overpowering fastball, he's been kind of 86 to 88, 89. And if you can't locate that against this caliber of hitting club, it could be a short outing.
The 3-2 roped out to center. That's Jackson Mayo with enough room and a loud second out.
Yeah, good job by the center fielder, just dropping and turning. And that's one of the hardest balls to field is one kind of hit right at you where you lose a little bit of perspective. But Mayo does a nice job of getting open, kind of going back on that one like he's going to make a over-the-shoulder catching football. And that ball certainly stung pretty good by McChrystal.
Jackson Mayo, whose dad did play football at App State, so you're onto something there.
Oh, there you go.
Putting all the pieces together. And here's East Carolina third baseman Dixon Williams, who gets fooled by a saber of a pitch.
And this is where this Pirate offense could be very dangerous. Any let up with 2 outs by the opposing team, the Pirates have been able to take advantage all season.
The 0-1. Dixon Williams, who in the last month has raised his batting average 30 points as he's entered a full-time starting role both at second and now third base. Coming into his own here in year 2, the Greenville native. That changeup's left up, and Jackson Mayo with enough room. East Carolina strikes for 2 on the RBI double from Jacob Starling. Quick start for the number 5 team in the country here in game 1 of the series. South Florida comes in with a 500 record, very up and down this year. Equal number of series wins and losses. Now, it's been a tough stretch offensively in the last 10 games. Series losses to Rice and FAU. And Mike, all of a sudden here they sit 1 game up on a playoff spot. This is an important series for the Bulls.
Oh, it's a huge series, and this is going to be a big moving weekend for everybody in the AAC, you would think. So, yeah, big weekend for the Bulls, and obviously a big weekend for the Pirates to keep piling on to their lead and take control of the conference.
ECU with a 2-game lead on UTSA, who hosts Wichita State this weekend. And Trey Yesavage, that ball actually hit the umpire. I don't know if Wilcoxon got a piece of that or not.
Yeah, I don't know. It definitely got a piece of Shaley back there, and it's slow to move around. And the kind of courtesy trip there by Wilcoxon to give him a chance to get his breath.
Not to add insult to injury, but let's take a look.
No, it looks like Wilcoxon completely whiffed on that.
Thank goodness they were chest protectors. So Yesavage will face Jackson Mayo, an elite outfielder defensively by metrics. He saved almost 7 runs a game this year with his defense.
Tell you what, we watched him in BP too, and he was absolutely killing the ball. I mean, really good bat speed, really easy stroke, and was hitting balls way onto the practice football field over here in right field.
Mayo, a 3-year starter from nearby St. John's, Florida. As Trey Yesavage challenges 3-1. Bristol Carter backs up and in front of the track for the first out.
A little more routine effort than the last one hit out to Bristol. That was just your kind of can of corn pop-up. An easy fly ball.
No pitcher better in this AAC conference than Trey Yesavage. And now nationally speaking, Mike, he's put himself in a position to not only be an All-American, but possibly a Golden Spikes Player of the Year type of season.
Yeah, if there's an accolade, he's in the conversation. And it's, again, we keep talking about it, but what he's done just merits so much conversation. It's been extremely impressive, and, a lot of pressure on him right now, as we kind of alluded to, the health of the East Carolina pitching staff. So Trey Yesavage's Friday night starts have been a huge deal for these guys. And you look at last week, they go down to Memphis without Lunsford Shinkman and without Rude and still manage to get a sweep. A lot of that because of what Yesavage did on Friday night.
His 1-1 pitch continues a fantastic start, 9-1. That's tied for the nation in wins. Then you factor in top 5 ERA, top 5 K to walk, and he continues to power this staff. 3 Ks tonight for Yesavage. Make it 4, and the split finger's off to a good start.
Yeah, 86 with that tilt, that's a tough assignment. And, the other thing with Yesavage is he does make it look fairly easy. He's not a max effort guy. He just comes at you with fairly fluid mechanics, and the fastball will get up to 97, and you back that up with that, 85, 86 splitty. It's tough.
He would be the last All-American pitcher here in Greenville since Gavin Williams was firing 100-mile-an-hour heaters on the bump just 3 years ago. And it really speaks to what Austin Knight and his pitching staff have done, developing some marquee arms.
It's pretty impressive.
You factor in Zach Root, who is battling a nagging injury, but is also a multi-game winner. He's 6-0 on the bump.
Well, and then you got the nation's leader in ERA and Lunsford Shinkman, who's battling some issues of his own.
Yeah, this ECU staff, 3rd in the country behind Arkansas in ERA. A really good year on the bump. And it anchors with this guy, Trey Yesavage, who battles Marcus Brodell with 2 outs. And Brodell chops one into the shift. Wow. That throw just in time. Good adjustment by Barini to end the inning. Good defense behind one of the best pitchers in the country as number 5 ECU maintains this 2-0 lead. Here's what's cooking for the number 5 team in the country. not only nationally ranked wins over Carolina and State, but of their 8 losses, just a 10-run difference in this club that's been really good at home. 21-2 here in the confines. Mike, all of a sudden you put the resume together, and ECU among the best teams in the country.
Yeah, it's been a really impressive run by the Pirates, and you started off the year thinking single by Wilcox. You start off the year thinking, man, this team's really going to pitch when you watch that Ryder series, but a little light at the plate. And this is Series 1, and then all of a sudden the offense starts clicking, and we've seen them win games from behind. We've seen them blow people out, no-hitters. We've had combined no-hitters this year. It's been an all-out assault on the conference.
Led to a 14-4 start, just one series loss. That was at UTSA. And here's Bristol Carter into bunt, at least the appearance of it. Cliff Godwin has been a master this year at sacrificing both with bunts and situational running. We saw it in the first inning, a bunt from a power-hitting Jacob Jenkins Coward. He's not afraid to use it as the slash works a 2-0 count.
Yeah, I was just going to say, and a big part of this arsenal is showing it early, setting up, seeing what kind of movement you get out of the defense, and then go back to that slash look with a little kind of chopper swing.
It is West Coast style baseball here on the East Coast, but it has allowed East Carolina to now have a top 10 offense. This is not a team that's going to mash 100 home runs, but they have found ways to be really productive offensively, which come postseason time is almost more dangerous depending on where you're playing and how you're rolling.
You know what, in Coach Godwin's time here, in the 10 years here, you've seen this has been what he's lived with. Now he'll obviously vary it some based off of the team, but
as Bristol Carter gets a slap base hit.
But he's always been a guy that wants to put the pressure on the defense and make them have to get you out. Good piece there by Bristol Carter. Single to left. Again, that little kind of chop slash stroke, and you really want that ball on the ground, preferably, because obviously you don't want to double up your guy, but nice job just kind of getting the barrel on it and serves it out in left field.
That's 4 hits for this Pirate offense, and in comes shortstop Joey Barini, who he looks to bunt. That'll test the catcher Monkey, and back-to-back innings, you literally figuring out the script once again.
Yeah, and I think what you're seeing here again is with the condition or the shape of the bullpen, that Coach Godwin's going to take advantage of every opportunity he has to score runs, even if it means manufacturing a run where typically you may want to. You would rather have a chance for the big inning.
Does that open the door here for a Johnson squeeze bunt?
Oh, 100%. I think he's, they're going to look to get every run in that they can, even if it means, at the risk of not having the big inning.
The infield now in for South Florida, and a good stop for Monkey.
And I tell you that, you may give Johnson a chance to get a swing off. He had a great at bat last time with a ringing single there, and again, senior guy at the plate. He knows what's expected of him. We'll see which way they choose to manage it.
There's the 1-0 pitch. Riley Johnson, who has really evolved in the leadoff spot here. First-year full-time starter. Now riding a 17-game hit streak after a dominant month of April. And he starts the month of May with a pop-up. Bozer looks up and hangs on. Nice catch for the second out.
Yeah, nice play by the third baseman, kind of battling the little bit of the setting sun and a little breeze from above the stadium. You see him get over there, and kind of as you teach it, gets over there and tries to keep his feet moving, and there it is.
So it's Carter Cunningham's turn. Now this East Carolina offense, over 120 runs scored this year with 2 outs. Now a helmet shot, and the bases are loaded on the accidental hit by pitch.
Yeah, it looked like Carter was kind of trying to duck that one, and it just broke right into his effort to move, and that'll load the bases for Jenkins Coward. Yeah, just the effort to kind of get out of the way of it. That's certainly not leaning into it. He's trying to get out of the way, and the breaking ball just finds him.
So Hunter Ming, 4 hits allowed. He's also hit a batter now. And in a bunch of trouble here in the second against Jacob Jenkins Coward, who hits .320 with runners on base this year. He goes first pitch hunting, fair into the corner. Jenkins Coward brings in 2, a chance for 3, and Cunningham's in there.
JC with a good piece, clears the bases, gets it down in that corner. A little hanging breaking ball, and he stays right on it, drives it. You know, that's the thing with JC, man. He's going to go up and work early in counts. He's a guy that supreme confidence in his bat ball skills, and you know he's going to offer early. If you make a mistake to him, he's going to hurt you, and he did right there.
Cliff Godwin's offense, Cunningham first in the league, now Coward second in RBI.
Yeah, again, just gets, way too much of the plate, and JC drives it into right field, and 3 RBIs.
A 5 spot early for East Carolina. Not that Trey Yesavage needs much run support, but this could be a huge number tonight.
Well, and we've seen that's kind of been the recipe on Friday nights. The offense shows up, Trey locks them down, and they're playing to try to get out of here as quick as possible.
Here's Jacob Starling, who doubled in a run his first time up. Starling, who's now played in 170 games in his Pirate career, and now back healthy.
You know, and for this USF pitching staff that's been a little inconsistent this year, this kind of puts you in a situation where, okay, do you just ride with Mink and hope that he can get you deeper into the outing at least and save the bullpen for the rest of the weekend?
That ground ball to Eric Snow ends the inning. But it's Jacob Jenkins Coward, another 2-out hit. That's been the story of East Carolina here in 2024. Taking a look at 7th-year head coach Billy Moll, a father of 4 and a father of a baseball team that's right at 500 right now. He's a Tulane Hall of Famer as a pitcher. Fantastic pitching coach, head coach. And this year, Mike has taken on the responsibility of leading the pitching staff. He wanted more success and quite a challenge as a head coach, but he's taken it on quite well.
Yeah, you know, sometimes that's what you have to do, right? You have to go down there and set the culture that you expect for growth in the future. It may not have the greatest impact on your team this year, but it helps you to build, for where you're trying to go. And they're no stranger to success, both him as a player and obviously back in 21, him, getting to and winning a regional.
Yeah, went down to Florida, beat Gainesville in that region, a great super region matchup with Texas just a week later. One of the few clubs that's defeated East Carolina in a conference tournament. The Pirates searching for their 5th straight regular season crown. They have the 2-game lead on UTSA, and here's Eric Snow, the shortstop. Snow himself back from injury. This is a lineup in South Florida that's had 7 of its 9 starters miss over a week of action. He's coming back from a back injury, low back pain. Chops one into the ground. And Jacob Starling there for the first out.
Yeah, I'm going to tell you something that really stands out to me so far in this game, Ev, is the defensive positioning by the Pirates. They are always a team that's willing to work into tendencies, but they have worked some really extreme shifts tonight. That one maybe not quite as extreme, but we've seen Dixon Williams playing true shortstop
and the crazy
several
part,
times.
The balls hit exactly where
they're hitting
aligned.
right to them. It's impressive, the value of information.
It's one thing to track analytics. It's another when it pays off. And Trey Yesavage, the beneficiary tonight.
And a big part of that is just Savage being able to execute the game plan with his pitches. If you miss on the other side of the plate, it takes the shift and kind of makes it null and void. But they've done a great job of kind of matching it up, at least to this point tonight.
Here's 9-hole hitter John Montez, the Central Florida transfer. Savage quickly ahead 1-2. He's not had a 3-ball count all tonight. He's worked ahead of almost every hitter and sported a 5-0 lead here in game 1 of this series.
I think the biggest number right now is that 36 pitch count.
Pitch 37 is snagged by Starling, who looks really good patrolling second base tonight.
Yeah, again, another one of those plays that did move Starling just a little bit to his hand side, but in really good positioning out of the gate. And it's literally like it was just scripted to do this. A couple steps and easy play there for Starling.
And for a player coming off a lower leg / oblique injury, his movement looks very smooth.
Yeah, and that's kind of been his MO since he's been here. And it is. It's been a huge boost for this Pirate team to getting back and him to have been as effective as he's been in his return.
That's allowed this Pirate team to field at a 980 clip. That's also in the top 25 in the country. There's a lot of good numbers right now for Cliff Godwin with a month to go in the regular season. Maybe no bigger number than 4 strikeouts early. Trey Yesavage on 0-2. How about 5 Ks in the blink of an eye? Electric stuff from Yesavage, who has 3 scoreless on the bump. Searching for his 10th win of the year, Yesavage cruising through 3 scoreless. Here's 10th-year head coach Cliff Godwin, a 2000 graduate here at East Carolina. He's in search of a 5th AAC Coach of the Year honors, and Ryan McChrystal goes after the first pitch. A quick pop out to left to begin this inning. We've noted the pitching success, but this is a Pirate team that was a top 25 preseason club. But how about the job Godwin's done of bringing this group together?
Yeah, a big addition to staff here was the hitting coach, Coach Henry Lartigue, and the availability he's had for the players and the fact that they've bought in to kind of the philosophy that was shared obviously by Coach Godwin at the top, but Coach Lartigue, a great hire there by Coach Godwin. But, man, what success he's had in his 10 years at his alma mater.
There's a ton of Ole Miss connections with Knight and Lartigue, and then Palumbo and Godwin here for the last decade have run the staff here in Greenville. Hunter Mink, who has struggled to work ahead of hitters tonight, now in a 2-0 count.
And going back, we kind of started to talk about it at the end of the last inning when Mink was out, that, he's probably going to have to eat some innings one way or the other for his team. They have nobody up in the pen as he plunks Dixon Williams there like he got him on the hip. But Mink's going to have to stay out there to give the bullpen a chance to
and that just
to have success the rest of the weekend.
Awkward too.
Yeah, that was sounded like it was pure bone.
Oh,
off the knee. Yeah, wow.
I don't care how many lunges you do. There's not a lot of muscle around that knee.
Well, and this is a club that prides themselves. Again, if you come to practice and they get hit by pitch in practice, they get extra points, not runs, for toughness and for it's just the culture. But that's one of those that you're like, Coach, I'm trying to be tough, but that's right on the knee. That's one of those funny bone shots that that kind of makes you feel it in your stomach a little bit. So
hit me in the leg, hit me in the stomach, avoid the back and the knees.
I got a helmet on if you'd hit me up there, but it's that's one. It'll be interesting to see if Dixon, he's going to stay in right now. That thing stiffens up a little bit as the game goes on. That might be we may have a Kobe Wallace sighting at some point.
That's the 47th time a Pirate hitter has been plunked this year. So Mink now facing Justin Wilcoxon, who has quietly come around to a great second half of his season. Now riding a 9-game hit streak, the senior out of Raleigh, who just graduated this week. East Carolina with its commencement ceremonies earlier today as that ball gets away. And I love that factor for the student athletes here at home, celebrating their graduation in the morning and then playing baseball that night.
It's been a really busy season in Greenville. It seems like a lot of the home games, and obviously not by accident, have lined up with other things that are going on. But you've got softball senior weekend, alumni weekend, graduation, and a home conference series. So it's a busy time here in the Emerald City.
So a 2-1 count to Wilcoxon, who's also bumped his average up to 317 coming in, now 321. That's a season best for the senior catcher.
And I'll tell you what, you see those 10 home runs up there too. He's a guy that when he gets going hitting home runs, it seems like he hits them 3 at a time. So,
well, this might be one. Wilcoxon deep to right, and on cue, a 2-run shot.
I kind of thought he might do that. So all of a sudden I've set the stage. He's got to have 2 more this weekend. But that typically is his deal. When he gets it going, he finds that stroke and he'll hit them in buckets. And that one was an absolute no-doubter.
A career best 11 homers this year for Wilcoxon.
Pretty nifty little celebration. It seems to be the universal celebration for all of college baseball
and
now.
I'll give players credit. The response to the no prop rule in college baseball, a little more team integrated.
Yeah, and they found creative ways to do things in the dugout. We've seen masks and all kinds of stuff, but not allowed to come out of the dugout with it.
All of a sudden, a 7 spot offensively Trey Yesavage, who's in the top 5 in ERA in the country, gets a great bit of run support.
I love that play right there, the effort for the bump base hit after the home run.
Now a slap ball to left, and that gets through for Carter, his second hit.
He hit his last one about in the same place.
How about this offense, though? 8 hits, dynamic through 3 innings.
Take a look here, Wilcox, and again, Meek just catches a lot of plate with that pitch, and when you're 87, 88, that's not enough to get by guys, and he puts a great swing on it and hits it over the scoreboard.
And now a pitching change here for South Florida. Hunter Mink unable to escape the third. And there's the call to the pen. We'll step aside for just a moment as South Florida going to the bullpen here in game 1. East Carolina cruising up 7. Matt Brown out of Ontario comes in, the lone Canadian on the South Florida roster. He'll come south of the border and now take on a red-hot East Carolina offense. The South Florida bullpen came in with about an 8 ERA as a staff, and Matt sort of follows suit right in the middle. Right now, though, Mike, how important are these innings keeping this game within 7? Yeah,
it's everything, and I am really surprised to see Mink go out, but I think the staff had kind of just had it off, and hey, let's give another guy a shot, and a guy with a 7.3 ERA that has an opportunity to come out here, and this is one of those deals where you prove to your coaches, hey, you can trust me. I'm going to hold them right here. I'll try to keep my team in it, keep us within striking distance, and it may create opportunities for Brown down the road. Brown, the St. Petersburg College transfer, where he was a starter at the JUCO ranks, has been at 3 different junior colleges and now the Division I, so 4 stops in 4 years. Here he faces the bottom of this ECU lineup, 9-1-2, who have already smashed 7 runs on 7 hits today. Tell you what, those 19 walks and 22 innings pitched is a pretty high number.
He'll face Joey Barini now. Matt Brown, who did not record an out in his last appearance, that was last weekend against FAU, has had a tough go of it in the month of April, an ERA above 12 in his last month. Off the end of the bat, this could be 2. Good start by Bozer, and in time. Good turn by Montez at second, and a double play ends the inning. East Carolina, though, adds 2 more on the Wilcoxon home run. Here's what's going on in the American Athletic Conference. East Carolina continues its dominance in the Player of the Week honors. Trey Yesavage and Carter Cunningham doing their part. But how about the race for 3rd place in this league? Tulane, FAU, Charlotte, South Florida, Wichita, and Rice. All those teams are within a game of 3rd place. And in this league, double elimination, top 8 get in. It is a red tight race here coming in the final 3 weeks.
Yeah, it's a log jam, but we kind of thought it would be this way coming down the stretch. It'll be really interesting to see how it all shakes out.
Trey Yesavage gives up a roped base hit, and that starts the 4th with a single. Now looking for 2, and Johnson, nice throw despite he slipped there, and a double for Drew Brucher to lead things off.
I tell you what, Brucher has proven to be who he was alleged to be. That's 2 doubles for him on the night, 1 to each side of the ballpark. Nice play again by Riley Williams to get to it and corral it. I'm sorry, Riley Johnson to get to it and corral it and get it in.
Brucher, who's in the top 6 in home runs in program history. He's also got a good bat in the doubles department, 42 career extra base hits. Now can Brucher get some help in this lineup as Betancourt takes a strike. Rafael, whose family grew up in Cuba, defected to the States when he was very young. As he misses that one there.
And for those of you that are wondering, like I did, is there any relationship or kin to Rafael Betancourt that pitched in the big leagues years back with the then Cleveland Indians and amongst other teams? There is not. He is Venezuelan born.
Such a neat story of foreign-born players coming to the States. And last year he was really good as a freshman coming on. All AAC freshman team started about 20 games. This year the full-time starter. Tonight 0 for 1 with a strikeout versus Yesavage. Now 2 strikeouts as Trey collects his 6th punch-out.
Yeah, really good pitch there by Trey. Pulled the string on him, and underneath his hands, it would be very difficult to get to that. If he does make contact with it, he probably pulls it foul. See it here, just pulls the string, it kind of slides back to the middle of the plate, and a lot of plane in that pitch.
It's a busy night for the K operator out in center field, part of the jungle out there in East Carolina. You think about Yesavage, 4 straight starts with 10 or more. You almost have to pack like a 30-pack of Ks to be ready for Yesavage.
Yeah, you never know. I don't know if the setup out there has enough room, but they certainly stay busy on Trey Day.
A 12K outing against Memphis last week in just under 7 innings. He's looking on that pace today ahead on Bobby Bozer. Bozer, preseason All-AAC, is coming back to form. A home run on Tuesday. And he fists one fair, a base hit. South Florida holding the runner at third. And a good throw from Jacob Jenkins-Coward.
Yeah, really strong arm out there by JC. That's something he prides himself on and he enjoys doing. He wants you to take that base and give him a chance to get an outfield assist, but cuts this off, makes a good throw to where it's handleable by all, and runners on first and third.
Across the street on campus, East Carolina softball wins game 1 over UAB. They're in a fight for playoff positioning. It's the final week of the regular season. And Trey Yesavage is continuing to drop dimes. Even Jackson Mayo wondering how that pitch caught the zone.
He's like, man, that was a good pitch.
Mayo, the 3-year starter in center field here for South Florida.
To this point, Yesavage has done a really good job keeping his pitch count down and throwing a few more in this inning than he would like. He'd love to get the old ground ball double play if possible.
There's 1-1, catches the zone. Still the fact no 3-ball counts for Yesavage tonight.
I tell you what, at one point on release, that ball looked like it could hit Mayo and ends up down and over the inner third.
Here's the 1-2. A slow roller. Barini, great footwork. Better. No, safe. Let's see if East Carolina challenges this as the run scores.
Let's see what we get down here. It was what he would hope for. Ball hit just not quite hard enough. See Starling playing up there, or Barini playing up the middle. No,
that's the correct call.
Yeah, beats it. And no argument from Carter Cunningham at first base.
So it's 7-1 East Carolina. And here's Joaquin Monque.
I think you just like saying that.
I really do.
Okay, yeah.
The name is what stands out to me. So look at this effort by Mayo.
Yeah, clearly beat it by about a half a step. Again, if that ball's hit just a little bit harder, you have a chance there, but not quite enough for the turn by Barini.
Monque, who does volunteer work at the local Ronald McDonald Hospital just outside of Tampa, very involved in the community, the 4th-year catcher from Weston, Florida. Works a 2-0 count. Facing the nation's leader in wins, Trey Yesavage with 9 victories coming in. And there's his first 3-ball count of the night.
Labored a little bit in this inning.
Leadoff double, an infield single, and the fielder's choice, the lone run for South Florida.
He's about halfway to what we've seen him go as a max, around the 110 mark. But, what we do have today that's kind of a new thing for the year is it's hot. It's hot out, a little bit of humidity, so see if that has an effect on Yesavage.
Line drive to center, and Riley Johnson's there to end the inning. South Florida on the board, East Carolina up 6 as we go to the bottom half.
Time for your American Studio update. The player of the week from Week 11 of American Baseball went to East Carolina's Carter Cunningham. The senior hit .562 with 9 runs scored, 3 doubles, 3 home runs, and 10 RBI. The Pirates went 4-0 on the week with wins over number 21 NC State and a sweep of Memphis, which landed the Pirates in sole possession of first place in the American standings. Back out to you guys at the ballpark.
Red hot Carter Cunningham, back-to-back player of the week in the conference. And Riley Johnson will lead things off. Only a 3-game week for ECU. It was final exam week, so no midweek for the Pirates, who have bashed 7 runs on 7 hits. Riley Johnson with a hit of his own in the first inning. Here's Matt Brown, his second inning of relief, and dives a changeup down.
You know, we were discussing the uniform combination here for USF, kind of maybe paying homage to the big league guys down in Tampa.
That neon is certainly a look. It kind of has indoor laser tag vibes.
It's different.
Bowling team vibes, and then the traditional pirate there for Cliff Godwin's club. Now the 3-1 to Johnson. Now, if those jerseys are worn under the lights for a true night game, I think they add some flavor to it.
Well, there is. I just saw something where there's a collegiate summer league that's doing a black light game, and these would be perfect.
Johnson swings over the top of a breaking ball, and Brown with his first K.
Yeah, rare strikeout for Riley Johnson there, and he thought that last pitch, the pitch before the breaking ball, was a little up in the zone, and but gets back in and swings over the 2-strike breaking ball, and you see Brown with a little fist pump and feeling good to have a little success.
That pitch had some great late movement on it. Brown, who did not record an out in his last 2 appearances, now faces the 2-time reigning player of the week, Carter Cunningham, who's won the award 3 times this year. He's well in line of conversation for Offensive Player of the Year.
You know, we have seen Cliff Godwin-led offenses show bunt a lot, but this year probably not as much as we've seen. I tell you, today it's certainly been a staple of everything they've done. There you have Carter Cunningham coming up, and his first pitch shows bunt and then swings and pulls a foul ball.
Here's the 0-2. Cunningham, who leads the league in batting average, RBI, and slugging, having a breakout here with that win blistering out tonight. A good night to be a lefty. Cunningham, though, chasing the breaking ball and 2 outs.
Tell you what, Brown's putting together a nice little outing for himself to this point. Comes in and retires it pretty easy in the last half, and now 2 strikeouts in this half, and that's something you don't normally see out of this Pirate lineup. So Cliff Godwin's going to take a second to have a chat with the guys and say, hey, what are we seeing up there that's giving us a fit? And I think it's a combination of the breaking ball, and then when you see I'm not sure exactly what the pitch is that he's throwing that has so much arm side run. It's not a fastball, a little arm side run and sink, but between the two, again, if you can pitch both sides of the plate, you've got a fighting chance. It's hard to be successful when you can't go away and make them uncomfortable in and out. So JC must, yeah, okay. He says, yeah, okay, I got it.
And no hitter swings at first pitches more in this lineup than Jacob Jenkins-Cowan.
No, that's right. He's an aggressive hitter, no question about it. Never seen a pitch he didn't think he could get the barrel on, and
he doubled his last time up, and then hit a bunt, a little sac bunt to bring in 2 runs his first at bat.
Not only does he get the swing off, he has a high success rate at barrel contact.
According to the analytics at D1 Baseball, over 50% of his swings are hard hit contact. Him and Cunningham, what a dynamic 3-4 in Cliff Godwin's order.
Yeah, that one's going to draw the jeers for sure. Nice job of by the catcher of presenting that ball, but certainly appeared to be a little down.
Now the 1-1. Coward chops one on the ground. Good coverage by Montez, and a quick inning, a rarity for South Florida pitching tonight. 3 up, 3 down for Matt Brown here in the 4th. Welcome back to Greenville, where this Pirate home crowd gets to watch a top 5 ranked East Carolina team who will host number 10 Duke next week. It's the highest ranking of the year for East Carolina. And Mike, here you sit now a month out from Selection Monday. There's some really good teams in the Carolinas specifically, and a chance now for ECU to bolster up its resume here in conference play.
Yeah, still so much to be decided. Big midweek with Duke coming up, Duke and VCU, and then a couple conference series left, and 12 games left, and again, a lot of work. East Carolina's done a great job of putting themselves in this position, but now got to do everything they can to close the door.
Have 8 wins against the top 50 opponents in the country. And here's South Florida coming in with a rollout to Yesavage. Rodell retired. The fact that Yesavage, not only the high strikeout total, but 57 pitches through 4 1/3, he's cruising.
I was just going to say that's a great way. After struggling a little bit in the last inning, at least relative to his standards, that's kind of the way you get back on schedule, is a little 2-pitch out.
Gave up the RBI fielder's choice to Jackson Mayo, the lone run surrendered. After going 1 batter away from a perfect game against Memphis. He's gone into the 7th of these run rule games, now twice this year, with no hitters. This ball off the end of the bat of Eric Snow.
I'll tell you what, he had him way out front, didn't he? Again, pulled the string on that a little bit, and Snow kind of one-hands it, and kind of a harmless contact there.
Not harmless to those people who had to watch the foul ball, but good stuff for everyone here.
Enjoying pirate beverages and a good ball game.
Another half-hearted chop swing from Snow, and a shortstop counterpart there. That just shows you how much movement comes out from Trey Yesavage.
Yeah, and I'm not sure Snow is he healthy? I mean, he kind of, not a ton of effort getting down the line there for a guy who looks like he should be in the lineup to be a runner, kind of one of those kind of guys, and a little bit gimpy walking off the field, but yeah, 2 kind of one-handed swings there.
So here's John Montez, who's been a really nice bright spot in this South Florida lineup. Montez, who grew up in Puerto Rico, moved to the States with his father, who played at Rider University. Trey Yesavage is a machine. He gets that ball back and ready to roll for the 9-game winner. We have not seen South Florida look to slow tempo or change anything offensively.
No, they're kind of I don't want to say standard, but maybe traditional, in the box, and going to take their chances at what Yesavage offers.
Yesavage sitting on 6 strikeouts tonight. Another electric Friday night here on Trey Day in Greenville. Add a new chapter to it. There's 7 punch-outs for Yesavage, and Wilcoxon there to finish it off. 9 wins and counting for Trey Yesavage. He continues a hot start. 5 innings of 1-run ball here in Game 1. Welcome back to Greenville. What a beautiful night for college baseball. Number 5, East Carolina rolling against South Florida, the 48th all-time inning. Here's your Grady White Boats game summary. The offense important tonight. Wilcoxon with a 2-run homer. And then Yesavage dominant. Mike, despite the effort of Drew Butcher, there has not been much of an answer for Trey Yesavage.
No, the answer's been Brown on the mound. Matt Brown been really good. Only 15 pitches thrown through 1 2/3 inning. That's really impressive, and mixed in 2 strikeouts in there. So Matt Brown's done a nice job keeping these Pirate hitters off balance.
He fires in a strike to Jacob Starling. That's 5 straight retired for Matt Brown. And Starling Starling ropes one into the mitt of Montez.
What a nice play by Montez. Again, great positioning by USF.
That's second base on second base crime.
Yeah, but I tell you what, Starling did not miss any of that ball. Smokes a line drive. Great play by the second baseman there in the backhand. And Brown again records another out. That one a little louder than the other ones, but nonetheless an out.
And the Ray-Bans are doing well. Good fashion statement. It really matches the neon jersey.
There you go.
As Dion says, if you look good, you play good. If you play good, you get NIL paid good. Couldn't have said that 2 years ago.
No, that's right.
Ryan McChrystal, him and Barini, the two yet to reach base for a dominant offensive night. 7 runs, 7 hits. And for the sake of this series, these are important innings for Matt Brown out of the bullpen.
Yeah, you got to think for a guy that comes in with a higher walk total, and that may explain some of the pitches that are taken first pitches by the Pirate hitters. But for a guy who struggled with the zone, he's certainly done a great job tonight. And there is that 91-mile-an-hour fastball with that, I mean, really live arm side action.
This Pirate crowd comes to life here in the 5th before the 3-1. And McChrystal earns the walk.
Brown's first walk of the night. We'll see how he handles that. You know, sometimes guys that have that tendency, you know, they're good until they walk the first one. Then it kind of becomes that here we go again mentality. We'll see if he can get it back under control here.
A South Florida pitching staff that's had a tough go of it in the last 2 weeks. Road series losses at Tulane, at Charlotte, and lost their last series hosting FAU. The pitching staff's allowed nearly 8 runs a game in that stretch. Dixon Williams, who was hit by a pitch and scored back in the 3rd inning. Now he gets hit again.
Yep, just below where he got hit last time. Luckily that one with a breaking ball, and you know that one feels a little better. And the crowd's going to boo, but that certainly was not intentional. I've never seen anybody in a baseball game intentionally hit somebody with a breaking ball.
Much better than a kneecap.
I can promise you this: if Brown was good enough to hit him in that spot with a breaking ball, he would have thrown it for a strike. You know that's just one that got away from him. Again, you see just a harmless little breaker ball right on the calf. He's going to need a little ice tonight, but Dixon should be fine from that one.
He'll need that Shaquille O'Neal icy hot to relax the pain and then to cool it away. So the rally continues. Here's Justin Wilcoxon. All of a sudden, Matt Brown getting himself into some trouble with the bullpen warming.
Yeah, kind of what I alluded to earlier. When guys have this tendency, they're normally fine until it shows up, and then when it shows up, they really struggle to get it back in the zone. And the last thing they want to do is serve one up to Wilcoxon, who blasted a home run in his last AB.
Chris Johns with a quick chat. The South Florida bullpen has a great closer, Chandler Dorsey, but it's been up and down in terms of piecing arms together. 12 different pitchers have thrown at least 10 innings out of the pen.
You know, a good rule of thumb here as a hitter is you kind of zone a pitch and you go, listen, after he just had a conference, guys, you know, struggling to throw strikes, I'm going to zone one up, and if it's anywhere, you know, anywhere near my go zone, I'm going to absolutely get off a great swing. I'm up in the count. And again, as we said earlier, when Wilcoxon gets it going, he can drive the ball out of the park at any time. Of course, if you're the pitcher, you're thinking, all right, I can't serve him one up right here, but man, I really need to throw a strike or I'll be out of this game soon.
Wilcoxon takes all the way.
Brown reminded himself to get that breaking ball out front, kind of cutting it off a little bit.
Cliff Godwin describing Wilcoxon as the steady Eddie for his club offensively. He has found his rhythm tonight. 2 more hits.
generous strike call there. Looked like it was maybe a little down and in, but
that's been the trouble for Matt Brown out of this pen. Retired his first 5, but now a walk and a hit batter. Wilcoxon into the shift. Bozer, but did not step on the base.
well, in the middle area there, as Bozer has the ball, the ability to tag the runner is standing right beside him. He goes to turn it, but there's nobody there because they are in the shift, and runners are safe everywhere. That's the middle errors that kill you against a club like East Carolina.
And to your point, Montez is so far away from second. That's a hard turn.
Yeah, you'll see. I mean, you know, if nothing else, go take the out right there. You got the runner. Nobody more surprised.
Well, you know, the more I watch that, did Montez just lose his positioning a little bit?
Yeah, he never got there. I think he thought he's going to take the out right there to make 2 outs in the inning, and then you deal with it.
Here's a pop-up for Bristol Carter. The catch for Brutcher, and both runners tag, so it's 8-1 East Carolina.
Yeah, again, that's a mental error on the third baseman. That ball's got to be, you know, you got to get it out there somehow.
Because that would have ended the inning.
Yeah.
We noted the sack bunts for the Pirates, also 28 sack flies. This is a situationally smart team.
Yeah, no, if they collect the out, that would have gone to 2 outs, right? So they still would have had to deal with 1 out in the inning.
Oh, correct.
But you at least have the, you know, you at least collect the out. Yeah, just a mental lapse.
And now Joey Barini, who grounded into a double play his last time up, stares directly into the night sky here in Greenville. Great hour for sunset selfies, terrible hour for hitting. And a tough night for a catcher back there, too.
You know, Joey Barini's another one of these Pirates that all of a sudden has had a little power surge. We've seen him with a handful of home runs in his last few times out.
Hit 2 home runs in a Wichita State series his last home weekend here in Greenville. And now a 2-0 count. Brown not even close. And in an 8-1 game with the run rule factor in the American Athletic, this is a huge inning.
It's a big deal. I wouldn't be surprised to see Coach Gobble with the runners on first and third maybe get something going here.
Now the 2-0. That time a strike with slider. Barini with hits now in 7 of his last 8 games. He's having a bounce back second half to his season for the senior out of Orange, North Carolina. The mad scientist Cliff Godwin going to his very large note chart. A lot of signals on that page for the always aggressive Cliff Godwin. Barini rolls one to second. Good scoop there by Montez, and that ends the inning. East Carolina answers the run of South Florida with one of their own, 7-run lead. Welcome to Greenville, where current commissioner Mike Oresco joined the party this weekend. The ceremonial first pitch, Mike retiring after a long career innovating the American Athletic, putting it to new heights, especially here in college baseball. And his final conference tournament begins in just 2 weeks, May 21st, down in Clearwater, Florida. That championship game on ESPN News. East Carolina, the reigning tournament champs, will gear up for a big run. That's always an impressive tournament. And this year, Mike, we noted it. 6 teams within 1 game of third. It'll be hard to predict who makes that championship run.
Yeah, there's no telling. It's still too early, but Mr. Oresco got a few boos there for bouncing that first pitch from this Pirate faithful. They're used to seeing good pitching like Trey Yesavage.
This crowd has seen a top 5 pitching staff in the country, and Yesavage anchoring that tonight with another 5 innings of 1-run ball. The longtime commissioner will step aside at the end of June. An American Conference that's had multiple bids 2 of the last 3 years. Now, part of that is due to upsets in the tournament.
Yeah, that Tulane team last year, storybook finish, and winning the conference tournament, getting in with only 19 wins.
There's a pop-up towards Cunningham, and he runs out of room. If there is a surprise team in the league this year, who could give East Carolina some trouble?
You know, there's so many that are just bunched up right there that, I mean, it's really hard to say. And, anybody gets hot in the postseason, it's, they can give you a tough time. Again, we saw it last year with Tulane.
As Yesavage fires in strike 2.
Yesavage, really nice job, fell behind 2-0 and pitches to contact there, gets the foul ball, comes back, pounds the zone, and puts himself right back in the count.
Ben Rosenblum, the leadoff threat for South Florida. He goes down swinging, and 8 strikeouts for Yesavage.
Rosenblum just cannot quite figure out the answer for Trey Yesavage with his 3rd strikeout on the night. Again, really good job pitching himself back into the count and able to finish it with his pet pitch, and Rosenblum just doesn't have the answer, as very few people do.
Has had 10 or more strikeouts in 4 straight starts. And now we'll face Drew Butcher, who's been the answer for South Florida. 2 hard-hit doubles tonight. 2 of the 3 hits for Coach Bill Moll's offense. This time a pop-up. Bristol Carter covering some ground and lost his hat along the way. Nearly lost the baseball.
Yeah, that was kind of an interesting route and collection of the baseball. Kind of comes in and has to stagger back, and the ball carries a little further than he thought, but he's able to field it for the 2nd out of the inning.
What an efficient night. 71 pitches for Trey Yesavage. He's cruising through 6.
And again, had a little bumpy run there in the 4th, but has kind of figured it out and found it again, and got himself back kind of on schedule with number of pitches per inning.
Rafael Betancourt now up with 2 outs, as Yesavage looks to catch his actual teammate Wyatt Lunsford-Shankman, the nation's leader in ERA. Wyatt just above 1, and here's Yesavage at a 1.7.
A big effort of this pitching staff is 4 pitches per hitter is what they would ideally like to be. Either a strikeout, a ball put in play. That's the way you stay efficient and last, deep into games.
Yeah, how about a 3-pitch batter? Trey Yesavage mowing him down. 9 Ks for the American Athletic leader in strikeouts. Quick work for Yesavage in the 6th. 3 up, 3 down as his Pirates remain up 7. Here's what's cooking in the American. Charlotte, a big win tonight to move to 10-9. So they're in sole place of 3rd overall. And with only 8 teams getting in, if you're UAB, basically through South Florida, it is a mad dash the next 3 weeks.
And when we had Charlotte here in town talking to their coach, Coach Woodard, he had mentioned that with the number of transfers they had, they kind of expected to get better as they went along. And you're seeing that. And you've alluded to it. That's a club that can be dangerous. They have effectively a whole new roster, and they're kind of going through that phase of getting to know each other and figuring out what their roles are. So Charlotte with a big win tonight to take over 3rd place in the conference.
So twin brother Tanner Mink enters out of the USF bullpen. Hunter got the start. Tanner now comes in, and Tanner's been a closer, long reliever, pitching a bunch of different roles this year. And a neat moment for the Mink family, seeing both come in together. It's happened a few times this year, but the one goal, talking to this coaching staff, they want to have a game where Tanner can start and Hunter can finish it off. They want to be able to go back and forth.
Right. That would be that'd be cool for the family.
So Mink faces Riley Johnson, who's been a hit machine. Now a 42-game reach base streak. Riley, when leading off innings, and he's rolling the leadoff spot a lot. 560 clip. When you're rolling the dice 50-50 to start an inning, what a dynamic top of the order hitter.
Yeah, Mink's a guy that's going to have success with contact, soft contact, ground balls. Only 11 strikeouts in his 16 innings pitched.
So now a 2-2 count.
And again, another one of these USF arms that's not overpowering velocity-wise. He's got to locate, and when he makes mistakes, a tough Pirate hitter at the other end.
Slow roller to second. Montez collects his feet and makes the play. Montez has been really busy over there at second base.
See a little 3 or 4 hopper there to the second baseman. Nice play. He fields it. You know, Riley Johnson with his effort still makes everything close. You got to come up and make the play on him. He is not going to let you just get him out.
A slow roller is a bang-bang play. You bring up a good point. And now Cunningham goes opposite field for the base hit. That's his first hit of the night, and he has a double here with 1 out in the 6th.
You know, I say it every time we get a chance to talk about Carter Cunningham. When he's hitting balls that way to the opposite field with that type of authority, he is locked in. And, you know, another sign of it, not that you don't look at the stats and see 452 in a guy that's locked in his last 10 games, but a great piece of hitting there by Carter Cunningham for the stand-up double.
So Carter Cunningham with his 14th double. He now, in terms of WAR in the country, wins above replacement, almost 4 wins above the average first baseman. To have that type of impact, he was a starter last year, but not putting up the type of numbers he is here as a junior at first base.
No, I think he's a guy that's really benefited from having Coach Lartigue here and locked in with their approach, and the way he's playing is just, as Coach Godwin describes it, very free. You know, he's very strong in his faith, and he certainly has had an incredible year for this club.
So Cunningham and Jenkins Coward anchoring the middle of this lineup. Jacob fouls one off.
I can promise you that's a pitch he'd like to have back. That breaking ball's up and right in the heart of the zone, and he just misses it.
Such a wide stance for Coward. He never gets cheated in the box. 17 multi-hit games.
And see, that's one his teammates may give him a little bit of a tough time for. That thing was kind of headed to the arm guard and a little bit of flinch late there for ball 2. That'd been a free base runner.
Here's the 2-2. And slider leaving Tanner Mink a bit astray. You combine elite power with elite patience for Jenkins Coward. 15 walks, 50 RBI. And now the 3-2 pitch leads to a massive swing.
Well, we talked about it earlier. He's a guy that likes to work in counts, so it's kind of interesting that he gets credit for being patient. But when you look at the walk numbers, you go, well, there's certainly some patience there. He's got 15 walks on the year, but he's a guy that does like to work early. Now he's worked himself into a 3-2 count.
Here's that 3-2. And a slow roller to short. Makes the play. Eric Snow for the second out. In an 8-1 game, the way Trey Yesavage is rolling, if you're East Carolina, you definitely want to score a few more here and end this game in 7.
Yeah, if you get the opportunity, and I'm sure that's on the minds down there. It's one of those deals, though, mentally you've got to say, hey, let's just go win this inning, play the game, and we'll worry about the scoreboard later. If you just keep piling up innings won, ultimately it'll take care of itself.
There's a strike to Jacob Starling.
You know, and he hit a laser his last at bat with nothing to show for it.
A double in the first. He's 1 for 3. And now a hard hit ball to third. That's bobbled. Bozer the recovery. And a nice snag at third to end the inning. East Carolina strands 1, couple of zeros here in the 6th. Dominant effort for Trey Yesavage tonight. 9 strikeouts and 6 quality innings.
Yeah, I mean, in all kinds of ways, right? I mean, fastballs, splitties, pulling the string on a little off speed. He's been really, really good. And this is the norm for him. This is what you expect to see every time he goes out. And amazingly, he just continues to deliver. And again, we saw him a little bumpy there in the 4th, but he's settled back in and figured it out.
He continues work here in the 7th against Bobby Bozer in the middle of the South Florida lineup. Trey has struck out 5 different hitters tonight. He is mowing down batters after a 12 punch-out day last week against Memphis. You can almost pencil in, if you're East Carolina, this will be a 5th straight 10 strikeout performance.
Yeah, I mean, again, he's just been a man amongst boys. Has been exceptional this year for sure.
Savage, who works with a combination of great accuracy and tremendous pace. So here's the 0-2 to Bozer. Line to left. Carter charging, and that's in for a base hit. 4th hit of the game for the Bulls.
You know, we haven't seen the big fastball out of Yesavage tonight that we've seen get up to 97. He's a little less velocity, but his secondary stuff and that splitter, you know, that splitter is just such a difference maker for him.
We have a pitch hitter here for South Florida. Cole Robertson, the Florida Southwestern transfer, comes in. He'll replace Jackson Mayo, the center fielder.
Right fielder, 17, Cole Robertson.
Exchanging some pleasantries down there with home plate umpire Jim Shaley.
And Robertson has an A+ mustache. The Pasco Hernando State and Florida Southwestern State transfer. He swings over the top of that splitter. Like, you watch it for 6 innings and think, oh, I got a chance at this. And it comes a whole lot different to him.
Yeah.
Quickly 0-2.
You know, kind of an interesting move with Mayo being a guy that's kind of a stalwart in the lineup and a almost 300 hitter to go to a 115 hitter. I'm wondering, hoping that Mayo's not hurt, or is it just a matter of the staff has seen something out of Robertson in practice they like?
Wow, Yesavage made quick work there of Robertson for his 10th K.
Again, that's pretty tough when you're a 115 hitter coming off the bench and you're facing one of the best arms in the country. Really not much of a chance for Robertson in that at bat.
5 straight starts with 10 Ks for Yesavage. Who now has 123 on the year, just 10 back of Chase Burns for the nation's lead. It was a big inning in the 4th for South Florida, but that's been it. 2 hits in that frame. Now for the leadoff single, it's Joaquin Monque, the starting catcher. Who has entered this game with hits in 8 of his last 10, swinging a great bat at the end of April, bumped his average up to 307. As he lines one out to center. That'll stay in the yard for Riley Johnson in the 2nd out.
Yeah, center field with Riley Johnson out there is not where you want to hit the baseball. If he can, if he has any chance in the world to get to it, he will. Again, just an amazing story, and his toughness and mental toughness, physical toughness to battle through the shoulder inheries and
that's
show
been
up
the last month and a half.
Oh, well, yeah, it's been those injuries go back years, you know. So he's a heck of a story on a team that's full of great stories.
Number 5 ranked team in the country, rolling again tonight. On a night very infamous here in Greenville, it's Trey Yesavage Day. They projected in the latest MLB draft projections, top 15 overall pick. This might be the last handful of starts Pirate fans will see of Yesavage here in Greenville. One more home series hosting Rice in the middle of May. As Marcus Brodell works a 2-0 count.
Yeah, if the Pirate faithful get their way, they're going to see him a bunch more in some postseason baseball here. And again, boy, but something special.
In great position to host not only a region, but possibly a super if it unfolds that way. And now a 2-0 hot shot from Brodell in the left center. There's a base hit. Bozer heading to 3rd. 1st and 3rd now for the Bulls.
You know, critical part of this play again. There's some fault there by Riley Johnson, maybe to take a shot at the runner going to 3rd base, and you can hear his teammates when it was live yelling 2-2, and you know that deal is, hey, let's keep that runner out of scoring position. We got 2 outs in the inning, and you know we're 1 pitch away from being out of this inning with the chance to do some damage and potentially finish this thing in the bottom half of the 7th.
So there's Austin Knight, the pitching coach, talking to his elite arm, Trey Yesavage.
You know, we said earlier it's a warmer day than we've had here, and obviously a little more humid with kind of some rain around the region. You know, it's a little different conditions. You see the guys are little sweatier than they typically are, and you wonder what kind of effect that has, because we've seen Yesavage his last few outings get around that 110 pitch mark.
He was over 100 in the win against Memphis last week. This ball might stay in the yard for Jenkins Coward, who slides out of space and then recoils from the wall. He's a freak athlete.
That was very similar to the the catch he made in the NC State game, where he started to slide way before the ball got there, and he kind of did it to brace himself against the wall and collects that thing. It was kind of a very smooth slide and out collection right in front of the State bullpen.
Here's Eric Snow on 0-1, taking a strike. South Florida just 1 for 5 tonight with runners in scoring position. Trey Yesavage searching for 7 innings of 1-run ball. Instead, a foul ball.
You can hear the Pirate fans getting rowdy there as Trey towed the bump for that last pitch, and the thought process being, hey, let's try to hold him right here, maybe a big strikeout or easy ground ball, get in here and score a couple.
Yesavage on 0-2. God, that pitch is nasty. Another one in the dirt, and 11 Ks for Trey Yesavage. He's feeling it. Double-digit strikeouts for the 5th straight start. Well on his way to a 10th win here for East Carolina. Here's the latest D1 baseball projections, 3 weeks to go in the regular season. And how about a possible matchup of Trey Yesavage versus Chase Burns? Wake Forest, a high 2 seed. Oregon State, top-ranked team in the Pac-12 right now at number 9. And with the month to go, Mike, these numbers are hard to cement in stone, but it certainly gives you a sense of how good East Carolina's playing right now. Yeah,
you know what? The projections have been NC State to this point, and then NC State goes out and Wake Forest comes in, along with some other teams. But, man, it would be a baseball fan's dream to watch those two go against each other. But, man, that'd be a scary draw for the Pirates.
As many as 9 ranked Carolina teams at one point. Now there's up to 7. And that ball hits Tanner Mink. Then he throws it offline, and everyone's safe on the infield single.
Tell you what, that was a pretty interesting play there. Mink obviously takes one off the rear end. I think he's probably going to be fine. But what's interesting, the way he threw that baseball over there was a really kind of a guided throw. Maybe a guy that doesn't have all the confidence in the world throwing the ball to first base, but you'll see it here, drives it right off his back pocket, we'll say. And this is the part to me, if you look, he kind of throws this thing like he's just not real sure. Just kind of a push. And,
I'm
going to kind of try to guide it over there. And the only reason, you got the catcher or a catcher running, so not the fleetest of foot here on the Pirate staff, but our Pirate club. But, yeah.
And maybe I'm misinterpreting baseball rules here. I had thought if the ball hits the pitcher, it's kind of a hit regardless. Now, the throwing part is the error. It is ruled an error.
Yeah, no, it's on the throw, and again, he just kind of babies this thing over there. That ball stung pretty good, but you see, I don't know, it's almost like he lost control of his body. Now, there are guys that kind of get the yips when they have to make a throw to first base or turn a double play. It's PFPs, you work on them, but that one was a in-the-moment kind of deal, but strange play.
So runner on off the error. Here's Dixon Williams. And he hits a high pop-up that's misread by Brutcher. It's moving back, and Williams clears the yard. What a drive for the Greenville native. Wind-aided bomb, and he'll take it.
That ball was hit as high as it was far, and it had the right fielder was absolutely playing in quite a bit. He saw him turn and run back, but he ran out of real estate. Hard collision with the wall out there, tried to go up and over to catch it, but Dixon Williams with the no-doubter to make it 10-1.
And look at at the route here of Butcher. He thought that was going 150 feet.
Yeah, he
quickly turns.
First step in, and then you see that thing way over his head. A valiant effort to try to recover and get to it. If he takes the right route, I don't think it makes a difference. But nonetheless, home run by Dixon Williams.
Second home run for the Pirates tonight. Now Wilcoxon, who already hit one all the way back in the third inning. The combination of Hunter and his twin brother Tanner Mink have worked on the mound tonight. Matt Brown is mixed in. 10 runs on 9 hits for the Pirates.
This is one of those situations. Obviously, you're looking at the scoreboard. You know the situation at hand, but Wilcoxon's got to do everything he can to just stay within his approach. He's in a great count to get a good swing off here.
Now the 2-0 pitch. To your point, the run rule a factor in the American.
But the last thing you can try to do in this situation is hit the ball out of the park. Just continue to play the game, and it'll all take care of itself.
Pirates have scored in all but 2 innings tonight. A balanced effort. And now a 3-1 count. Both teams with TBA starters the next 2 days. And so far we've been dazzled by Trey Yesavage on the bump tonight. And now his offense has the winning run at first base.
We're going to have a pinch hitter here in Cam Clonch. Kind of wonder if Coach Godwin may make a move on the pass for speed, but obviously this game's not over and this is not the ninth, so looks like the Bulls are going to go to the pin.
So pitching change in order. Tanner Mink exits, and a new arm entering for South Florida. East Carolina on the verge of a dominant Game 1 win. When we come back, we'll introduce you to the new arm when we return. Nick Pineda enters out of the bullpen. This is a do-or-die inning for South Florida here in Game 1 of this 3-game set. The Davie, Florida product now looks to shut down the bottom third of this East Carolina order.
Yeah, Nick Pineda 9 2/3 on the season. Again, 9 strikeouts to 4 walks. Gracious.
You're thinking about your walk-up song.
Gracious.
When you ever come back into the game.
I'm telling you, but yeah, tough situation for Nick Pineda.
He's pitched in 8 games this year, mostly in mop-up duty, 9 innings of work. And he faces a red-hot offense. Bristol Carter with a couple of hits. Barini has put the ball in play 3 times. The interesting part is neither team's selected a starter for the next 2 days, so it could be an all-hands-on-deck type of weekend.
Yeah, I expect there will be a lot of runs scored here over the next couple days.
We noted before the break the pitch hitter Cam Clonch, the senior out of Mooresville, comes in. Clonch has started nearly 60 games in his career and now comes in off the bench. And Clonch smacks the first pitch into the gap. He's looking 2, and the winning run's at third on the Clonch double.
You know, Clonch is a guy that started the season off red hot, even got a couple starts, kind of went cold, but of late he's come back in the role that he's been so good in his time at East Carolina as a bat off the bench. An extremely athletic, very good defender at first base, a great defender in the outfield, but a guy that the Pirates have just needed as that kind of spark off the bench, and you see it there. He's kind of a pro hitter mentality there, comes in and gets his job done.
An emotional leader for this team as well, steps up with the double. And here's Joey Barini with a game on the line situation. Winning runs on the bags here in the 7th. Barini fouls it off.
Infield in for the Bulls.
Total pot commitment here for the coach.
Yeah, it's kind of interesting. The outfielders aren't necessarily at a throw them out depth. They're a little bit deeper than I would expect. If you're going to try to cut that play down at the plate.
A 2-run homer for Dixon Williams, a walk and a double have now made things really tight in the 7th. As Barini pops one up. If this lands, it's the game.
Oh.
And just foul.
Yeah, man, that thing was just foul.
Inches away from sending the Pirate fans home.
I mean, that would have been something, right? Just a kind of a gorker off the end of the bat, and it just misses being fair by that much. I mean, it's less than a foot, and that would have been ball game.
Now the 1-2. Rainey ropes it. Fair! And that's the game. A run rule victory. The 10th win of the year for Trey Yesavage, and a dominant night for number 5 East Carolina.
You know, this has just kind of become the norm for this Pirate Club on Friday nights. The number of run rule games they've had, and Trey Yesavage goes out, does his thing. Again, a dominant night is to be expected from him, and then the offense comes up and, you know, bangs it around. And I mean, it's just what they do. It's what they've done all year.
A season best 9-game win streak for East Carolina. And a dominant night at that. Game 1 goes to the Pirates. And that man, Trey Yesavage, continued his dominance. 7 innings, 11 Ks. Couldn't have drawn up a better script if you're Cliff Godwin here in Game 1.
You know, the number 11's big. The efficiency of the offense, 11 hits, 11 runs. Where, you know, something that has plagued this offense at times is leaving runners in scoring position and on base. But 11 hits, 11 runs, 11 strikeouts. Pretty efficient night for the Pirates.
11, the magic number in Week 11 of the college baseball season. That game summary brought to you by Grady White Boats. A lot of dominant numbers. This series continues tomorrow, and then Sunday at 1 o'clock. Tomorrow at 4. What a great night for Trey Yesavage and this East Carolina offense. We thank you for joining us here in Greenville. Pirate Nation having a great time tonight. Number 5 ECU dominant in a run rule victory. For Mike Mullis and our talented crew led by Kyle Gaskins, I'm Evan Budrovich. Number 5 East Carolina holds home turf with a run rule victory here in Greenville.